Man, ever since I did that video about how the Sixers weren't good, they've been on a roll, and Embiid's the main reason. He's entered the MVP race, if you ask me. In his last 12 games, he's averaging 32 points on about 54% shooting. You saw that 15-footer there, and that is actually where I want to start, is Embiid's jump shooting. Because we all know he's a dominant inside scorer and he lives at the free throw line, so let's talk about some of the other things. Recently, he's been at about 47% from mid-range, which is in line with what he was shooting last year from about 16, 17 feet out, and it was a big reason why he was so dominant last season. He's also been at about 38% from three, so good luck doing anything with him right now. I feel like his handle has also progressed a bit more this season as well. I mean, we all knew Embiid could dribble, but there's times this year where he just straight up looks like a guard. Besides the whole being 7 feet tall and 270 pounds or whatever he is. And here he takes Jakob Poeltl off the dribble, that's fun. Here's a stat for you. In his last 12 games, Embiid is shooting about 4 shots a game after attempting at least 3 dribbles. And if he keeps that up for the rest of the season, it would be by far the highest of his career. My guess is that it will continue to be successful because Embiid is a tank. One thing, though, is the Sixers kind of need him to do this. This is what happens when you just don't have Ben Simmons and his 8 assists a game. Suddenly Embiid needs to do even more. And I feel like by using him sometimes more at the free throw line, top of the key, on top of the post touches, it opens the floor up and it gives other guys opportunities. I think this is a clear example of that sort of thing. You have him at the top of the key and you have a cutter going to the rim. Embiid's passing has always been a bit of a conversation, and the idea was, sure, he's good, but there was another level to get to. And I think this could be the beginning of that. I mean, in this recent run, it's not like he's racking up assists every game, but there's a lot of moments. And there are a decent amount of these games where he ends up with 5, 6 assists. He had 10 assists against the Rockets. The easy thing to look at is his passing out of the post when defenses bring multiple guys at him. It's a simple concept, but it is something that he has, I don't want to say struggled with throughout his career, but he hasn't been amazing at it either. You saw that Thibault cut. We had that Tobias cut earlier. Here's another one with Shake Milton. And similar to his chemistry with J.J. Redick, he's got a good two-man game going with Seth Curry. Of course, while all of this is happening, Embiid is still one of the best rim protectors in the league. Dallas managed to slow down the buzzsaw known as the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant helped him a little bit on that one, but he did have 8 turnovers in this one. Dallas's defense has been great recently. In their last 10 games, they've got the best defensive rating in the NBA. The first thing I'm noticing is that Dorian Finney-Smith is the one guarding him on the beginning of a lot of these possessions. He also called out that screen, so you saw it coming beforehand on Brandon Clark, or from Brandon Clark, if you will. Get a good contest from Dwight Powell, and Finney-Smith sticks with Brandon Clark on the roll. They make it look easy, but it's not. This was a good possession from Dallas. Dorian Finney-Smith on Ja Morant again. Jaren Jackson screen, now it's Dwight Powell switched onto him. You think this could be a mismatch? Well, Jaren's going for the dive, but Maxi Kleber's going to dig in. Also, kudos to Luka for being in the ideal spot to guard the passing lane. Similar thing with Jalen Brunson. And then, they just bring a double team on Ja. It's just good stuff. A lot of the conversation with Dallas has been, oh, look what Jason Kidd did to Rick Carlisle's offense. Well, look what he did to the defense. It's looking good. Let's talk about Bucks Warriors. Steph Curry is shooting 39% from the field in his last 15 games. The hell is going on? Like, obviously, this will not hold up, but also, like, what the hell, bro? How long would Steph Curry have to struggle to where defenders didn't stay glued to him like their life depended on it? Like 5 years in a row? As for Klay Thompson, it's been 3 games. Has he lit the world on fire? No, but that's okay. It'll be a bumpy ride sometimes with Klay. The main thing is getting ready for the playoffs. I want to talk about the Bucks a little bit. I know their record is not super amazing and they're not the 1 seed in the East and all that. I am not concerned with the Bucks at all. For the simple reason of when Drew, Giannis, and Middleton all start, the last time I saw it, they were, 15-2? Giannis is all in on setting screens on top of doing his normal Giannis things. They probably still could use a center, given the Brook injury. Of course, Giannis has played really well at center. Bobby Portis has done a good job as well. They're fine. LaMelo loses Cole Anthony, step back 3. This is nasty. So we got Lopez on a super drop. Cole Anthony, you're the guy. Nobody else is guarding LaMelo in this action. And just, oh man. I mean, the way you just stop on a dime like that, can you teach that? Probably. But it does seem like this stuff just comes naturally to LaMelo. I remember there was an interview he did where most of his answers are just like, yeah, man, it's just natural. Anyway, let's see this steal. Then he has the audacity to go between the legs. LaMelo, what he has done for the Hornets franchise in like, what, a year? 2 years, if you will. It's nuts. Here's some positive Warriors stuff. Kuminga went nuts. And I feel like he had a series of plays in this one where he just really showed off the athleticism. I mean, you look at this layup, for example. There are certain dudes where, right here, where they're just kind of done. Like, they just don't have the burst, they don't have the verticality or whatever. But Kuminga, he just kind of glides right to the rim. I know there's been a bit of conversation about should the Warriors go all in or whatever their version of all in is for a trade to boost themselves up. I don't think they're going to trade Moody or Wiseman. They're definitely not trading Kuminga. Well, this was a quote from Gobert. When I watch the Suns or Warriors, they're a step ahead. This is the big thing. Devin Booker is playing his butt off defensively. I mean, this has to just be a little bit of a shot at Donovan Mitchell. There's just no way. Like, Booker and Mitchell have had so many comparisons to one another. It's the same position as your guy. Is this the right way to go about it? I don't know. There's also a chance that Gobert, just in the heat of the moment, that was the first name he thought of, but I'm not the only one who's trying to read between the lines here. And look, like Gobert, he's got a point. The rest of the Jazz need to be better defensively. I mean, when he steps up on a Steph Curry screen after Mike Conley died on the initial screen, and then there's no rotation on the backside, and Gobert was the only guy who did his job on that possession. So anyway, we'll see if the Jazz pick up some more defensive players. Pacers brought out a mascot to troll Devin Booker. I'm a big fan of the Devin Booker versus mascots thing. I mean, the initial thing, like, Booker was just, I don't know. Like, just relax, bro. It's a mascot in a crowd. Who cares? But if it ends up being a meme, then okay. But the one mascot we gotta watch out for is Benny. Because Benny will go overboard and do some actual stuff to mess with Devin Booker. Jimmy Butler, tough shot to seal the game. I wanted to watch the end of this, but the grocery store closed in like 20 minutes, and I had to make an executive decision. Anyway, what the hell just happened? We got Kevin Huerter, ISO on Jimmy. This is just a classic ISO. Not much more to it than that. There was good help defense by John Collins. He did what he can do. There was also some communication here with Trey. Him and Gallo were saying something. I'm just trying to get a read on the Hawks defense because it's been very bad. And two things to take away from this. Number one, Atlanta really cannot catch a break because they were winning in the fourth quarter of this game. Number two, throughout all of Bam being out, Jimmy missing time, Miami's rolling, man. You know, them fully healthy, that's a good team. Hopefully we see it because it feels like we never do. Thibault, steal, and slam. Yeah, this was scary for a moment, man. Like, as it was happening, I was like, oh no. Like, this could have got really, really bad. I swear to you, bro, anybody who was watching this game would say this. This game was over from the moment it began. So Joel Embiid roasted the Celtics, and I love him for it. Charlotte, they move the ball extremely well, and they have shooters all over the place. Boston is more of an ISO-heavy team, so it becomes easier to load up. The Celtics' offense sucks, man. Defensively, I think they're usually pretty damn good. The problem is when they miss so many shots, the other team can get out in transition, or they have a matchup they like. It's Udoka's fault, it's Brad's fault for not getting enough shooters, and they need more playmaking, and I don't think it needs to be a big name. I mean, my deep-cut dream is if they could get Tyus Jones in free agency after this season, but that's not going to happen, and they're also pretty capped out anyway.